Cottage, and welcome back again to another wet, cold, grim Wales. I really thought spring was on the way the other day, but to no avail. It's raining again, so we're back in the greenhouse. But if you're new here, my name's Hazel, and this is my cottage diary about building my new cottage garden in Wales and things I get up to in the house, preserving things, making things, saving money. If you're interested in frugal living, I do a lot of that here on this channel and try to do as much as I can for free. So if I find something that I'm going to do for free, I try to share that with you. So that's who I am. I live in Wales, as I say, and yeah, it's just a channel just for me to share what I get up to around here, and people seem to be interested in it. So yeah, so that I keep recording videos for you. Anyway, today we are just after Easter. It was Easter at the weekend, and it's around about the 12th of April, I think, and it's peak seed sowing time, and I keep itching to sow seeds. And I'm running out of space. I just got no space in here at all. So yeah, what we were going to do today was we were going to do a garden tour. I'm going to take you around the garden and show you the camellias and yeah, the rhododendrons and things like that. But it's just far too wet. I can't even get in the garden. I can just about get to my greenhouse, and that's about 10 yards of grass, and that's it. And it's just a bog. So I'm not even going to bother trying. I'll try again towards the end of the week and try and get that up for the weekend for you. But today I thought we'd come in the greenhouse, and I've got plants to pot on, so I thought I'd show you them. I've got my tomatoes, my cherry tomatoes, all need potting up and moving on because they've got their first sets of leaves on them, so they need moving on. I've got these cherry ones as well, which need to have done really well. These were Gardener's World seeds, which are the free ones off the magazine. Somebody gave me them, so I thought, oh, I'll give them a try and see if they work. They were a couple of years old, but yeah, they all seem to do well, so that's them. I've also got cucumbers, and I want to put them up into some multi-purpose compost. So I've got this cucumber here. It's a little one. I won't even try to pronounce it, but it's just starting to get its first leaves on this one as well, so we're going to try that. I've got this one, which is a small cucumber, so I want to try putting that on. And I also found these pumpkins in the propagator in the porch, and I didn't think they were going to grow because these are a few years old as well, but these have come through and they're just starting to get their first leaves on them. And these ones are called Old Boar. And I think these ones are white squash, and they're quite big, quite robust squashes. And I think 2 will be enough. So I don't think I'll bother trying to sow any more, but I've got those 2. And then I also had, if I can find them, these. Oh no, this is an Old Boar as well. So I've got 3 of those. And again, it's got its first set of leaves on it. So we're going to pop them on. My Bright Lights, Rainbow Swiss Chard is doing really well. I planted that about 3 weeks ago, so we've got going with that. So I might try potting them up into a bigger pot. What else have we got growing here? Oh, I did those seeds that I got from Home Bargain. I bought these ones, which were the multi-beetroot, and I bought, they had carrots and radish and things like that in the same mix. So the radish have come up, but as you can see, the carrots and the turnips haven't. The turnips were really old seeds, so I didn't expect anything from them. They should have been sown by 2010, so they're 13 years out of date, but I just thought to chuck them in. So I'm going to do something else. Oh, tell a lie, look. I've got one little shoot. Don't know whether you can see it. Just one little turnip there. So yeah, I think I've got a few carrots that are just starting to come through now. I don't know whether you can see them. So I'm going to give them a water, and I'm going to leave them and see what else we get. But yeah, my mixed red are doing really well. These are the radish. So let's see if I can get the little label out without disturbing the soil too much. But that's what they are. And they were from Home Bargain, and it was a mixed pack, and they were 99p. So they're going to be ready to go out in the garden soon. I'm going to leave them in there for the time being because we're still getting quite cold at night, and I don't want to put anything out because I don't want to waste my time and waste my money and find it just freezes. So these are only just starting to get their true leaves, their real leaves, which will be their radish leaves. So I think they'll be all right for another couple of weeks, and that'll take us to nearly the end of April, by which time all the frost should have finished by then. So yeah, so that's them. And then I've managed to sprout 2 cosmos. Now I'm really disappointed with that, but you win some, you lose some, don't you? I did a whole tray and I got 2 cosmos. But they were from a couple of years ago, so maybe that's why. But at least I've got 2, so I've got some more cosmos to sow. So I'm going to do them as well. And I put them back in the same pot. And then the other thing we've got is the courgettes haven't done anything, so I'm going to re-sow them. They were old seed again from, where were they from? Lidl. But no, they just don't seem to be doing anything at all. So I might just throw some more seeds in the same pot. What I have got is some amaranth. Now, I've not sown that before, and I thought it was worth a try. I got the seeds. Where did I get them from? I got them from Sarah Raven, I think. When I got my bargain seeds, when she had, I think it was 40% off all her seeds. So, yeah, excuse me for looking all wrapped up, but it's really, really cold here today. So I've got my scarf and my hat on again. But yeah, amaranth, never grown it before, don't know what it's like. But again, thought it was worth a try, and it's all come up. I'm really pleased. The seeds were really, really tiny, smaller than mustard seeds. They were like little grains of sand. And it says 5,000 in a packet, so I just sowed what I thought. So I've no idea how many have come up. But we've got a stray one there in the wrong box. So yeah, they're really good. They're coming up nicely, so I'm really pleased with that. So I think that's all the seeds that are growing. Can't think of anything else. Oh, I think these are the beetroot, the mixed beetroots, which is them, which was this packet here. So they're coming up. They need a water. I'm finding with these propagators that I bought from Charlie's that they're a bit self-watering. These lids are really, really good with these trays, and they keep them really wet, and I've found I don't need to water them because all the condensation builds up inside, and that just seems to water the plants like rain. So I found these really, really good, and I think the lids were about £3 or £2, and the trays are about £3 or £4, and they're really, really good plastic trays. I would recommend them if you're looking at investing in propagators, because with all this single-use plastics that is about, I find these sorts of trays just go brittle after a while and just break, and they become useless, and then you end up having to throw them into landfill. And these only last a couple of years, but what I found is these trays, now this one was about £4, I think. It's an extra large seed tray. Look at the size of that, and I think it was about £4. Now you have to buy the propagator lid separately, but for a really good sized propagator it was less than £10, and the plastic is really, really good, strong, sturdy plastic. So I'd highly recommend it. It's a Garland brand called Garland. And these are the lids. Now this lid doesn't fit this box. This is a problem I had. I couldn't find the right size lid, but that's because I bought the wrong tray. But these are the lids. They've got 2 air vents on them, and they're really, really good plastic. But even still, it'll still go on the top, but it just doesn't fit properly. So if you're going to buy them, make sure you can get the base and the lid to fit. But it just means you're getting a really, really good, strong, sturdy propagator. Now, the propagators, when you buy them as a set, as a complete set, they're about £15 or £20. So it's a really, really good saving. So if you go to the garden centres or to like Charlie's and Wilkinson's and places like that, have a look for the really good, sturdy plastic and the good lids. And oftentimes it's easier to buy it separately and a lot cheaper as well. So these will last me for years. I mean, it's an investment. I reckon these propagators are going to outlast me because Just really, really good, strong, sturdy lids. And they're only going to get used at the beginning of the season and towards the winter time when I want to propagate stuff for winter crops. So yeah, I just think it's a really good investment. Yes, it's a bit of an outlay at the beginning of about £9 or £10 at the beginning. But I mean, they're really, really good sized propagators. I mean, this is a 52 centimetre, it's a 52 centimetre tray. So that's ½ a metre of seeds. So that is a lot. And then this one is bigger again. So this is about 60 centimetres, 65 centimetres. So yeah, really, really good. And if you are in the UK, this is just an aside, if you are in the UK, Home and Bargain had these, and they're windowsill propagators. Now in my local store here, I went and had a look today to see how much their propagators were. And for one of these, it was £15.99. Now, I don't want to pay £15.99 for a propagator. But this one was £5.99, so I'm going to get another one. Because when I was in Charlie's last time, I bought it as a separate. You could buy everything in separates, and it cost me about £7, I think, to do it all that way. But this one, it's a really good size. You get three of these really sturdy, thick plastic trays, and it's already got the holes in the bottom of the tray. And then you get this really sturdy green tray to keep it in, and you get 3 for £5.99. Now I thought that was a bargain, so I'm going to go back and get another one. And then in the different windowsills around the house, now we've not got the heating on and we don't have things on the window ledge, because we put our curtains up away from the radiator so that we can get the heat off the radiators in the house. So now we're not doing that. I can put propagators in all the windows, so that's going to be really good. So I've got 2 of these so far. As I say, I got the one from Charlie's that I did as a separate, and then I bought this one last week for £5.99. So I'm going to buy another one. I might even buy another 2, and then that'll do me then. I won't need any more then for this season, because I've still got all my old seed trays as well. So yeah, very exciting. It's a windowsill propagator, and yeah, you can pop it in any window that's got plenty of light, and get your seeds growing. So that was that. Let's put that away. The other thing as well I thought I'd show you today is different things you can use as propagators that you could use for planting seeds. Now I've got a variety of different tubs and things that I thought we could use. So I'll just get them and show you. Right. So what I've got is a variety of different things that you get produce in, or you get food in the supermarket. So I've got an old coffee cup from a takeaway coffee, and you can pop holes in the bottom and you can plant peas in that. So I've got that. This one is just an old carton that's had olives in it, had a cellophane lid on the top, but you can put holes in the bottom of that and reuse that, and put a little bag over the top if you want it as a single propagator, or pop it in your big propagator with all your other tubs. Dead handy. The other thing is yoghurt cartons. Now what I like about these is this cardboard thing on the outside, because what you can do is you can turn it round the label, turn it round, stick it back on, sellotape it round the back, and then you can write on the front what you've got sown in your little tub. So I've got 2 of them, so I thought I'd use them for peas with this double cream one, I'm going to put holes in the bottom, and my coffee cup. So that's going to do for some peas. And what I've also got that I thought I could use for sowing courgettes and things, because they've got nice deep roots, is these plastic cups that we had left from a barbecue last year. And yeah, I thought I could just pop a hole in the bottom of that with a knitting needle, and I've got enough to do some courgettes. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 8 of those, and then I've got these cardboard cups that we had from Christmas. So I thought I'd use them. We had a load from church that from a church lunch that we had. So instead of them going in the bin, I picked them up as well. But I just thought I could poke holes in the bottom with some knitting needles. So they'll do as seed pots as well, and they'll last year after year. If they do break, you've lost nothing, you haven't paid out for them. And then they're just going to go in the bin anyway, aren't they? So that's that. The other thing I've got as well is these mushroom trays. Now I buy the big family pack of mushrooms in Lidl, and they're really, really good value. I think they're about £1.50, and you get like 800 grams of mushrooms, kilo of mushrooms. So you always get these big trays. So what I thought I'd do was, again, pop some holes in the bottom with a knitting needle and use that as a seed tray. And it's quite deep, which is really good. It's white, I know, but yeah, can't have everything, can you? But then you can sow your seeds in that and pop that in your propagator. So I've got 2 of them, so I thought I'd use them. And we have these produce things, always have holes in the bottom already. I've used these in the past and they've been really, really good. I think this one had strawberries in it. So this is a few years old, this one now, so you can use them. This one's great because it's got a lid on it as well. I think this had biscuits in it or something. A church lunch, someone brought those, what do you call it, mini flapjacks and brownies and things that you get cut up into squares in Asda. Well, that's what that's off. So what you can do with that is, again, put holes in the bottom. In all these containers you'll need to put holes in the bottom for drainage. Put your soil in there, pop your lid on, and you've got a windowsill propagator for nothing. It was only going to go in the bin in the plastic recycling, and then when you're finished with it and you've grown your food and you don't want to use it anymore, just wash it and pop it back in the recycling bin. So yeah, you get a double use out of it. So that's really good because, as I say, it's got the lid on it already, so you just close it over and start your seeds off in there, and that'll be great. So that's that one. The other thing as well is these things that you get your deli snacks in Morrison's. I got curry stuff, pakora and onion bhajis. And you get these little propagator trays. So again, you can just put holes in it, put your compost in, pop your lid over, and you've got a little propagator. And it'll keep the mice out, which I have a trouble with around here. You might need a little bit of sellotape just to shut it. And yeah, there's another one. So I've got 2 of those. A muffin case, which came from Lidl. Get their muffins. It's got little individual sections which they put the muffins in. Pop holes in the bottom, pop your lid on, and then there's another propagator. So dead easy, dead cheap. You don't even have to go out and spend any money. If you're already buying the muffins and the food and things, and they come in these containers, you may as well use them as propagators and it'll cost you nothing. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to put holes in these, and I'm going to use them for sewing things, and then I can put the lid over the top and the mouse won't get in, which is an asset for me, because the mouse round here plays havoc with everything. Everything I put in the ground or in pots or whatever, the mice eat. I mean, I'm in the middle of the countryside, I can't do anything about it. I've just got to live with it and just get on with it. I can't go putting traps around everywhere because it's the wildlife. I live in their world and I've just got to get on with it and find ways to work around it. So this is my way of working around it. I saw as well a really useful hint on how to keep a cake fresh on a YouTube short the other night, and it was using a container, something like this, like a sandwich box. And what you do is you do the lid first, and then you would put the top on the top, so it would be upside down like that, and then you take the lid off and your cake's on the little tray at the bottom. Now I thought that would be a really useful idea for doing seeds. If you've got old sandwich boxes that you don't want to use anymore, or are past their best for putting your sandwiches and your cakes and things in, and they don't seal in anymore, and they don't keep things fresh for that long, use that for your seeds. Because what you can do is you can turn it upside down, put the tray on the little red tray there and use that as a drip tray for the water, pop the lid on the top, and again you've got a propagator for your seeds. Really good value for money, so especially when you've got those clear sandwich boxes, it's ideal. So yeah, there are just a few things that I was thinking of today. Excuse me for the close-up. But they're just a few things that I was thinking of for today that I'd share with you. I've come out to sort the seeds out. and I just thought I'd share this with you and show you my seeds, because I can't show you around my garden because it's far too wet. And it looks like it's in for the day. We're forecast high winds and torrential rain this afternoon, so I don't think I'm going to do a garden video today. But I have got another video going up for you today, and that's a day in the life video of just me pottering around here and taking you along with me. So I hope you enjoy that video. But I don't think I've got anything else to share with you today. But what I am going to record in a minute is showing you transplanting the plants on, so that then you can grow them on into plants for planting in the garden. I also have some exciting news as well before you go about my polytunnel. I was going to get the polytunnel and pop it up the top end of the garden where the chickens are and pop it behind them. But as you know, I've had a real issue with the trees. I've had a real dilemma about what to do, because we've got really big tall Douglas fir trees, and they're about 30-40 metres tall. They're really big trees, probably about 90 foot tall, and still growing. And I was thinking, I was umming and ahhing about it, and I was thinking, do you know, I don't want to put it under the trees because I think it's just going to get flattened. One of those big branches comes off and it's the size of a tree trunk. It'll just flatten the whole thing and I'll be finished. And I didn't want to go and spend like £600 on this polytunnel and find that it just gets flattened in the first storm that we have. Because we have horrible winds here that come straight across the field, and anything that's in the way, it just cuts it down. And I didn't want that to happen to me polytunnel, because I've waited a long time for this tunnel. I've waited over 20 years to have a polytunnel, and I wanted it to go well. I didn't want it to be a disaster. So yeah, so what we've decided to do is, instead of having any more work done on the trees and having more branches cut off, because I do like them, we're not going to have the tunnel up there. It was my husband that said, you know, why don't you find somewhere else in the garden for it, and you won't have to have the trees done, and then it'll be nearer the house, it'll be easier for you to get to, we can harvest the food easier. He said it'd just be better. He doesn't garden, but he's not half wise about things sometimes, so I thought, do you know what, that's the perfect solution. So what we're going to do is, where I'm standing at the moment in my greenhouse, it's going to be my polytunnel. I've measured the space, and the farmer's letting me have the space next to here. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to order the same size polytunnel, but it's going to be here, and it's going to be about 20 metres from the house. So I'll be able to come out the front door, come in the polytunnel, even in the rain in this weather, come and pick something for tea, take it in the house, cook it in the kitchen, instead of trying to find a way to tramp all the way up the garden through the river that comes down the path, and then go and try and harvest my stuff in the polytunnel behind the chickens, because it's a nightmare getting up to the chickens, never mind getting up to the polytunnel. So that's the plan now. So what I've got to do is, I've got to take this greenhouse down, I'm going to put it up the top of the garden behind the chickens, take the chance with the winds that the glass doesn't get smashed, because it's a full glass greenhouse. But the beauty of it is, all I need to do is take the glass out, and my husband can help me carry it along the field, straight round the field, over the fence, and then into the garden up there, and then all I've got to do then is put the glass back in. So that's the perfect solution. What I'm thinking of doing in the long term with this greenhouse is taking all the glass out, keeping it up there, covering it in plastic, in cheap plastic, and just making it into a plant house where I can grow my seeds on this year, and be able to do that while I'm waiting for the polytunnel to be sorted out, because this piece of ground here is on a slope, and unfortunately the slope's going to have to be levelled out a bit in order for me to be able to use it inside. Not so much for putting the polytunnel out, because I can get longer tubes that go in the ground, the foundation tubes that go in the ground. I can get longer ones, so I can have 2 long ones at the bottom and the shorter ones at the top. But if I'm going to be walking up and down it inside, I've got to level it out. So that's what I've got to think of next. And I'll just turn you around because I can show you from in here instead of getting wet outside. So do you see that shrub there? This one here? This has got to come out. That bit of fence there is where the polytunnel's going to go up to. So I've got to put some fencing wire from there, and then it's going to go all the way across down there, and then that's going to be the extra bit of garden that's through there. So yeah, so hopefully that'll work. But before any of that can happen, I've got to get that hedge out and get that privet out. So I'm going to leave it on the end there because I think that's there for a particular reason, to stop the soil all moving off down the field. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn it round so it's into the field, but also put it in the ground so it keeps the soil from moving and stops the movement, because I think once I've levelled it off enough in here, I think it'll stop the earth moving there as well. So that's going to be really useful. And plus it'll screen the polytunnel a bit from the wind, because the wind will just come straight and hit the polytunnel. But it's going to be east and west, so it'll get the sun most of the day. It'll be nice and warm down here. I can see it from the house. I can come out to it nice and easy, and it'll just be the perfect solution. And then the new garden's going to be next door to the polytunnel, next door to my greenhouse where I am now. And then I'll have raised beds in there as well. So perfect solution, I think. What I'm thinking of doing up there, incidentally, is maybe a bit of a cutting garden. Something like that. Maybe try as an experimental garden of growing the flowers and the vegetables together. Maybe that'll be for next year. I'll do some raised beds and get the compost in, and yeah, we can see how we get on with that. So that's my plans for that. I just thought I'd share that with you while I'm stood in the greenhouse. It gives you an idea of what's happening now with the polytunnel. So as soon as I've got this sorted out, I'm going to order the polytunnel. It'll be here within 2 to 3 days, and then it can go straight up, and by which time hopefully the rain will have stopped and hopefully the wind will have gone as well, and it'll make it a lot easier for putting up. So the first thing I need to do, now my auger thing, the corkscrew thing has arrived, is get the fence posts in and get this lot fenced off so the cows don't come in, because the cows come back in about 2 or 3 weeks. It's the young bulls and their mothers, and I don't want them coming in and tramping all over my vegetables and all over my polytunnel. So yeah, so that's another big job that needs doing. But in order to do that, I've got to do the boundary fence again with some new fencing that I got, because I'm pinching that fencing to put on the field. So there's always more than one job that needs to be done round here to do one job. That's why nothing ever gets done, because every time I go to do something it rains. Because today I was going to do the boundary fence, but typically it's raining again, isn't it? So I'm going to get my greenhouse jobs done. So yeah, I think that's it for today. If you did enjoy my video, please do like and subscribe. Please do hit the notification bell, and that'll tell you when I upload new videos onto my channel. And if you like this video, YouTube will see that, and they will tell everybody else that my video's up on YouTube. So I'd really, really appreciate that. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe, it doesn't cost you anything to like my videos. And I end up having my videos shared on YouTube, which is very much appreciated. So if you would like to buy me a coffee, I do have a Ko-fi account, and I will appreciate a nice cup of coffee next time I go out to the shops. So thanks very much for joining me today. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I will see you soon. So bye for now. Bye bye.